One of the mostly visited parks in Uganda because of a number of mammal species recorded in this particular park. We have about 76 mammal species recorded in Murchison Falls. There are about 445 bird species recorded in Murchison Falls. And Murchison Falls is one of the parks that is mostly visited because of these attractions. There are quite a number of reptiles, a number of amphibians, a number of snakes, but because of their secret nature, some visitors don't feel comfortable seeing them, but we have quite a number of them. One of the challenges we face as a park is human-wildlife conflicts, and how we are managing it as a threat to the park. We have an electric fence as one of the interventions. An electric fence, in Murchison Falls we have an electric fence that covers a distance of 44 kilometers apparently, but we have just got a World Bank funding under investments in forests and protected area for climate smart development that is going to cover a distance of 101 kilometers, and this will cover quite a big area. Out of the 101, we're going to do 31 kilometers in Woya, 20 in Bulisa, 20 in Masindi, 30 in Kiriandongo. And so we hope after that we'll be able to extend, because Murchison Falls has a boundary parameter covering a distance of about 433 kilometers. And we hope to cover the biggest part of the park. However, the other side of Pakwach, where we have hippos disturbing people, we'll have to use a hippo fence, which is different from this design. However, we have many other interventions that have proved to be a little bit effective, but they are not as effective as the electric fence. We have beehives, and we have actually encouraged the communities to have bees. Wherever these elephants detect that there are bees somewhere, they always don't actually, of course they are not aware that bees sleep during the night, but they always avoid being close to bees because they know bees will sting them. That not being enough, we have also done some trenches. Trenches are ditches. They are 2 meters deep and about 1.5 meters wide. And because of that, I must say that trenches for a long time have been used as a human-wildlife conflict mitigation measure. But because we have areas which are a bit boggy, that are a bit swampy and rocky, and they may not be effective, elephants have used those areas to cross over to the community and cause mayhem to the neighboring communities. This is a solar-powered fence, and this place is called Yagupino, which is in Prongo Town Council, Woya District. Next to me is a pillar, a white painted pillar. A pillar, most of the actually pillars along this stretch are showing the community members that you have now reached the park. This is a boundary between the park and the community. Inside is the park, and outside is a community. And next to the pillars we have the fence line. Now this fence line is not exactly the boundary, but it helps us control the crop-raiding elephants, buffaloes, cobs, and many other animals that are a problem to the community. It is a solar-powered fence, and the purpose of having the fence here is that, and the wires protruding inside, is that it helps shock the animal before it reaches there. You might actually think the poles are too short, but they are very, very effective. They are not long. Before the animal reaches the point where the poles are, it is already shocked because of the protruding wires facing the triggers that are facing inside the park. Because the triggers will shock the animal before it reaches there. Whether a buffalo or a cob or an elephant, big as they might be, they will be shocked, because this solar-powered fence releases power in pulses. So when the animal comes closer and touches the wire, it is shocked before it reaches the main fence, and it is able to go back. And the purpose of having these wires facing inside is that we want to avoid animal kills. This system can easily kill an animal if it remains there. But of course, when the animals are shocked, they walk away, they walk behind in the reverse direction, they go back. Because once they are shocked, they go behind. And so why we have some of the pillars, some of the poles having some protruding wires, is that we have some jumping animals like baboons. These baboons are jumping, and monkeys, and usually if they want to jump out, they always want to actually jump on the pole. And once they jump on the pole, there's that protruding wire, and that wire will definitely shock the animal that has jumped on it, and it is able to run away. Because the solar system and the fence system is powered in a way that it actually shocks and releases. So that way, because it releases power in pulses, the animal is shocked, and before it is shocked again, it jumps and runs away so that it is not killed. So that way, that is how this fence is very effective. And we have a stretch. Usually we have a powerhouse which powers about 5 to 6 kilometers, and also another powerhouse probably ahead which powers about 5 to 6 kilometers. So that powerhouse is able to power all this distance from here up to about a distance of 5 to 6 kilometers ahead. And that way, this fence has proved to be very effective. Almost 95% it has been very effective in controlling the animals that have proved to be a problem to the community, especially those like buffaloes, like baboons, like elephants, and the cobs. These are no longer a problem, especially in places where we have this type of fence.
I'm Private Albora Solomon. Right now I work as a technician. Here is our powerhouse. This is a solar system where we always receive the energy from the solar. Then it comes to the charge controller, and then we have the energizer. It's like our transformer. It steps up the voltage from the 12 volts to right here you are seeing here to 6.6 kilovolts. Provided our power is above 3.3 kilovolts, it can shock the elephant and it can run away. Here we have our siren. Here is the monitor. We have the siren and we have the alarm. This one, it makes you to monitor when the fence is working lightly. This siren, once there is assuming the animal get entangled inside there, it will make for you the alarm. In case the animal gets entangled in the fence, we are able to know. This one I'm just demonstrating. In case it gets entangled, this one is I'm just doing like short circuiting. The alarm will be out from the powerhouse. Then it will make our fencers to be able to know that in this section of the fence there is a problem. Yes, because then once it's out, we are able to go and check and rectify where the fault is, or where the animals maybe get entangled, it's still remaining on the fence. That is the advantage of the alarm system. It helps us to know where the fault has taken place. This is our spring gauge. Right now we are using the spring gauge, but we know with time, if we are to fence the whole park, we may not be able to use the spring gauge because the elephants will be having nowhere to cross, of which they will try all possible means. This one we are just using temporary. When we finish all the parks, the elephant may use this access because right now there is no power. Here we have a cutoff switch. Here we have a cutoff switch. When it's up like this, there's no power. But once we bring the spring gauge, and then we connect here, and then we bring the cutoff switch down, we have connected. Meaning right now there is power. If you are to touch, it will shock you. But when we turn it up, because inside there, it's a conductor. It conducts, but when we bring it up, we have cut the power. That's why we call it cut-off switch. But after, I think we are going to design what we call a grid, where The elephant, when it steps here, the breed will be down. The breed will be down, because I know after fencing they will try all possible means where to pass out.
Apart from the human wildlife conflict interventions, we have a number of other community park programs that we do. One of the things that I do with the Warden Tourism is that we guide and support communities in doing ecotourism activities, to establish campsites, to establish lodges, to establish hotels next to the park, so that when the visitors come, the neighboring communities can also benefit from tourism. They can be able to make money by providing accommodation, by providing meals and other services. The Parliament came up with a new law which provides for compensation under Section 82 of the Uganda Wildlife Act. And that compensation was actually operationalized by coming up with compensation regulations. We have compensation regulations. Whenever animals go out of the park, they are animals that are categorized, which are supposed to be compensatable. Animals like elephants, buffaloes, leopards, lions, hippos, those are some of the animals that are compensatable. If they injure somebody or kill somebody, those are compensatable. Chimpanzees, gorillas, those ones are compensatable when it comes to injury and death of persons. However, there are also animals that are compensatable in case of crop raiding or property destruction. We have a category of baboons. We have, of course, elephants, buffaloes, hippos, crocodiles, and of course, some of these animals, whenever they destroy property or they destroy people's crops, we are able to make assessment. But the assessment is supposed to be followed up by a call by a community that I saw animals coming out of the park and they destroyed my crops or my house. When they make that call, we are able to go on the ground, rangers go on the ground and assess. So for you to qualify to be compensated, you must have a garden outside the park. If you go inside the park and you're injured from there, the law doesn't.